first, let us talk to the man who had a phenomenal highlight reel performance bonus winning head kick knockout on Saturday. He knocked out Nasrat Haqparast in the first round in a fight that he took on 10 days notice, had to cut almost 30 pounds during that stretch, and scored one of the more vicious knockouts that you will see all year. He is the pride of Perth. He is the one and only Quillan Salkilld, who is kind enough to join us very early in the morning, or maybe it's late at night, depending on how you slice this. It is 1:05 a.m., I do believe, in Perth right now, right?
G'day, Ariel. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, but I'm still buzzing from the weekend, so I'd still be up anyway.
Okay, I love it. It's great to meet you. And by the way, would you say good day to someone at 1 o'clock in the morning, or is there like a nighttime version of that?
I think you say it any time of day, to be honest.
Well, technically it is the morning, so I guess good day would work. What has life been like for you? The trip, 10 days notice, you get this knockout, you have to cut an extreme amount of weight. You're probably buzzing, long trip back home. Do you feel like you're just kind of floating through the air right now?
Pretty much, man. Taking this fight was, it was a no-brainer for me. I was heading into this fight looking to do something special, and I think I got to achieve that. I didn't think it would go exactly that way, but that way is probably the most ideal, way, a fight in this scenario can finish. So, I'm, like you said, I'm floating through the air right now. Feel like I'm on top of the world.
When you got the call 10 days before the fight, where were you? Where were you at? Did you have to talk to people? What was going through your mind as you get this offer?
Yeah, I was asleep. It was early in the morning. My manager called me, and I seen it, and I kind of just left it. It's like I pressed the snooze button, and then 5 minutes later she called me again. I figured it must be important, so I picked it up, and when she gave me the offer, first thing I did was jump on the scales, make sure I could make weight, and it was a bit iffy at the moment, so I was a bit scared, but I knew I could do it, and then it was just like zero hesitation in the fact that it was a well experienced opponent and on a big card. I just thought, how exciting is this? This is cool. I want to go in there, try to do something badass, and I live for these moments. I'm all about the excitement in this game. So the bigger opportunities that come, I find I perform much better. And this is the thrill of the game is just what I do this for.
How bad was the weight cut?
It actually wasn't that bad, to be honest. I lost 3 kilos in a day. I ate a heap of crap on the weekend. Usually I go down to my parents that live like an hour away, and my mum cooks a homemade meal, and I indulge in that. So I think that was most of the extra weight I put on just from the weekend before, but it wasn't too bad. It ended up being the same amount of water weight that I'd usually cut in the days leading up to. So it was pretty standard, actually.
Okay. And by the way, I do have to say now, learning a little bit more about you and seeing some of the video blogs about you posted on YouTube, the glow up is real. I saw some photos of you from a few years ago. You look completely different than the man that we're speaking. This is you. How old is this?
Yeah, embarrassing. Without the mustache, that's
the hair, the mustache. How many years ago is this?
No, that wasn't that long ago. That was 4 years ago.
It's a completely different vibe right now. And for the record, I like this vibe more. I like this vibe more.
Yeah, I started growing the mustache and figured that's pretty good. And then I grew my hair out a little bit for the Contender Series, because it was my first time on an international level. I was like, I got to rep, the Australian hairstyle and get the mullet. And then I ended up, liking it. So I just figured my style out later on than what I probably should have.
That other photo, you're kind of, one of a million. Here, you stick out. You're memorable. You're unique. And so I would stick with this. I saw you doing interviews. You're wearing the chain. You're wearing the bathrobe and everything like that. You've got a look to you. You've got an edge. Yeah. Where's the bathrobe? I was expecting it this time.
That was the Abu Dhabi one.
Okay.
I was living lavish. I had the top floor, great view. I felt like king up there. So. But I'm back home now, so just back to the norm.
And by the way, can I ask about your name? It is a unique name, Quillan. Where does that come from?
That's actually it is Irish descent. I think it means cub. You can search it up.
Okay.
It means cub. So it's not like the most badass name for a fighter to have, but I'll take it.
I do like it, and obviously, what you've been doing as of late has been tremendous, and the knockout was tremendous, albeit very scary. And I know that in the moment you are so happy, you're over the moon, you're celebrating, you've just accomplished something great. How quickly does the elation of the moment turn to like, oh my gosh, this guy isn't moving, he's face down, it seems like his legs are convulsing. That seemed like an eternity as a viewer. I can't imagine what it felt like for you.
Yeah, it was a weird feeling. Like as it happened, like I didn't even take notice. I was just, like in the moment, like celebrating. Then, and I think like a minute goes by, and DC comes in, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Like he's still on the floor, and that's when I kind of like realized, looked over, and I was like, "Damn!" Like he's in, not a good way at the moment, and bad thoughts do go to my head, but I once I seen him start to, moving, you know, him start to like, come back to, consciousness, things do, settle, and, I understand, part of the game, he's trying to do the exact same thing to me. So yeah, I just think it's just, all part of it.
Did it feel like an eternity for you as well, or is it all kind of a blur right now?
Yeah, it's all kind of a blur. Like it comes so fast. Like even in the build up, like since my last one, like we'll bugging the UFC actually for a fight. We'll like, always hitting them up, probably being annoying, trying to hit them up for a fight. And then, when this come around, now it just seemed like, all within a, split second, everything's, passed, and now we're back, back at home, like
Yeah.
normal stuff now.
Is that kind of the, I wonder if that's kind of the best way to describe this year that you've experienced. Like, last fall you went on Contender Series. This was now your third numbered event in the UFC. You've won 2 bonuses. Like what a rookie year, if you want to call that, for you. A year ago, you're not in the UFC, or you're maybe just getting into the UFC because you're winning the Contender Series in September of 2024. How would you even describe this year that you've just experienced in the major leagues of MMA?
Yeah, it's been a busy year, a successful one. I understand that in this game you're only in your you're only at the top of the game for a very specific amount of time, and it's not it's not long. It'll go by fast. So I'm here to make the most of my youth, and realistically speaking, I got like 10 years left in the game, so I've got to make every year count. So I think I start off with a good one, and I'm looking to continue that leading into 2026.
So you're 25 now. Are you saying you don't want to go past 35, or are you just saying like that's
just like just an estimate, like like a rough estimate. Around 35 is usually when you make a decision. I could end up. Hopefully, I'm like a Yoel Romero when I'm like I'll be 50 and be still smashing it. So we'll see how the body holds up when I get to my mid 30s.
Did you have a chance to talk to Nasrat afterwards?
I did not actually. I seen him at the back, but I don't think that I don't think he would want to probably see me. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to see. I want to see my opponent if they did that, and I think they kind of just got him off to the hospital to do some monitoring, and I think that's it. I had no interaction with him after the fight.
Did you injure your foot while landing the kick?
Yeah, I did. I think I broke it.
Wow.
To be honest, it's busted up right now. I'm limping. I'm in a moon boot. So
wow. Just from the kick, just from it landing on his head.
Yeah, I've never hit anybody that hard ever before, mate.
Wow. Do you work on head kicks a lot? Like, is that one of your things that you love to go to?
Yeah, of course, especially on a like southpaw versus orthodox. Spamming the rear kick, and we're looking to kick at all levels, and we opened up the fight. We started off throwing teeps to the body and to the leg, and round kicks to the body, and that was the first one I threw up high. Caught him obviously off guard. He guarded for a body kick, and I threw it with everything that I could, and ended up breaking my foot on his head.
Damn. Will you need surgery?
No, it's not that bad. It was nothing major. I didn't snap the thing in half. It just, it'd probably be something like a microfracture.
Okay.
Call it a sour bucket.
By the way, you're from Perth, right? You're joining us from Perth right now.
Yes.
Why didn't you fight on the
Yes.
Perth card just a couple of weeks ago?
Well, they didn't have a matchup for me. We're actually bugging them a little bit in the lead up. So I like asking if they're, is there something for me? And they didn't end up getting back to us in the time frame. So, it was unfortunate that I didn't get to fight, in front of a home crowd, but I'm sure I'll get the chance to it at some point or another. And I consider that a blessing in disguise, because this opportunity that just happened on the weekend probably
Right.
wouldn't have arisen. And I doubt whatever performance I did on the Perth card, if I was to have one, wouldn't have topped this one.
What is going on over there in Perth? It seems like every couple of weeks we have someone coming out of Perth. Of course, the champion at 170, Jack Della, no better example than him. But it seems like there's like this influx of great fighters from your neck of the woods who are doing so great right now.
Yeah, I think just the whole of all of Australia right now. Like, sometimes I watch our amateurs at all like the local events here, and I think, damn, like, especially right now, like if I was an amateur, um, like now, if I had the same skills I had as an amateur when I was competing, then now I'd get my ass whooped. I wouldn't have even made it to the pro ranks. So I think just the whole of Oz right now is just like everyone's taken MMA very seriously, and especially here in Perth, like a lot of people say that there's nothing to do here. Well, if that's the case, all we do is train and live, breathe MMA. For us that do this as a hobby, or just as a career option. So I think it's just our ethic, our work ethic towards the sport.
Have you ever trained with Jack?
I actually haven't trained with him. I actually planned to train with him, like last week before I got the fight booked. So we had like a training session planned to go in and train together. But then this opportunity come up, so I had to, obviously we canned that to come and travel. But yeah, in the future we're definitely going to get some training in together.
How big of a deal is he, and is this fight back home? Like, is he a mainstream star? Is everyone talking about it?
Yeah, he's the man here. He's leading the way for us. So I'm very honored to even like follow in the footsteps. Like I actually was hoping that I'd get a fight on the MSG card on his on the prelims. So it'd be like like the old days, like on the local scene here, he was headlining the main events. And when I was an amateur, and even early on through my pro career, I was fighting on pretty much his undercard. And then when he moved on, I ended up main eventing the local show here. So it would be cool to kind of like replicate that, but on the biggest stage in the world.
I saw an interview with you that was conducted by Sherdog.com back in 2020. And you said this in the interview. You said, I didn't even know what the UFC was until I played the game. I knew nothing about it. I was playing the game with one of my mates, and I was like, shit, this is sick. That's how I became a fan of the sport after playing it. How long ago was that? Yeah. How old are you when you're playing the video game and know nothing about the promotion that you're now starring in?
Yeah, I was 16.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So that's not that long ago.
My mate, no, it wasn't. My mate used to come up behind me at school and put me in a rear naked choke. And he just at random. And I knew nothing about the sport, so I didn't know what tapping out was. So I was literally like fighting for my life. Just randomly at school, just come up and put me in a choke.
Wow.
And then I was like, get out by the skin of my teeth, almost died, and being pissed off at him. And he was like, you got a tap, bro. And I'm like, what's that? Like, what do you mean? It's like, UFC? And I had no clue. Ended up going to his place after school, and then we played UFC 2. And he was showing me like Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, so... And I was like, and I figured this is wicked. And I end up getting the game for myself. And then, obviously Conor being on the front, then it was like the first fighter I searched up, and I ended up being, become a fan instantly. Watching his videos I was playing footy. So on my way to footy training, I was like watching his fucking highlights, get me pumped up to go play a totally different sport. So yeah, definitely UFC 2 game got me into it.
And you had no prior background in martial arts whatsoever?
I did 1 day of karate, I think, when I was 5.
Okay, wow. And so
did the old
yeah.
That's it. That's what I remember.
And so how do you go from playing the game to then going into a gym and start to train?
Yeah. After the first UFC event in Perth was Rockhold and Romero.
Okay.
I started training a week after that. I went to that event, and then the UFC gym opened up here, and I ended up going to train there, like just for fun, like a week later, and then yeah, it just spiraled from there.
Wow. And so you went to that event as a fan. You were now starting to get into it, right?
Yeah,
And then you just start training.
I trained a week later. Literally the next week, I started training after going to that event.
And then how do you go from just like a guy who's interested, who's a fan, you're training, to now saying, I want to do this as my career?
I just become addicted. I don't know what it was, because at that time I was playing like Aussie rules footy, and that's what I wanted to do. So I've always wanted to be like some sort of athlete, and before that I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. Like when I was a teenager, and then footy, and then within like 3 months of training, I had a total switch, lost all interest in playing football, and then decided that this is what I wanted to do. And it wasn't till I had one amateur fight and I lost that. And then after my second amateur fight, I won. I won by the skin of my teeth. Last, I was getting bashed the whole fight, and then the last round I pulled off a rear naked choke win, and that was the moment where I decided I'm going to do this. Like that feeling of winning was, there was nothing like it, and I was hooked from that.
Wow. What'd your family say? What'd your parents say?
They were supportive from the get-go, to be honest. I think my mum was a bit worried when I got a bit too interested in the sport to begin with, but when I, told them that I'm going to be doing this, they were 100% on board. Like, especially early on through my amateur career, they didn't make me get a job or move out. Like, I just stayed at home and just trained, twice a day, every day, and that's how I got to kind of like, speed run through the tracks and be able, become successful at the sport. Was, my parents being 100% supportive and let me live at home, and I didn't even move out until like 2 years ago now. So
wow.
Yeah, they've been like the biggest support.
And you lost your pro debut, right? Via rear naked choke.
Yeah, I'm
it your
cursed.
team? Was it your classmate that did it to you? No, it wasn't. Because you said
no.
It was a bad joke. But that must have been tough to lose your debut. Did you?
I am cursed to never be undefeated. Like my first amateur fight, my first pro fight, and even my first like Muay Thai fight.
Wow.
I lost, and then I go pretty well after that. So that's just a curse. I'll never be undefeated.
I think it says a lot about you. Some people might question themselves. Maybe you want to quit. Whatever you say, no, I'm good, and then you go on a crazy. You haven't lost since, right? You're 10-1.
No, that's it. Yeah.
And so you want to fight on the rumored Australia card in 2026, early 2026. That's still the plan, right?
Yes, that'd be ideal. I've got a month to sort out my foot. I think that'll be good. That'll be, after a month's time, it should be back to, in kicking order. And then it's pretty much like 2-month camp if it's going to be early February, like the rumors say. So I hope I can definitely get on that one, and hopefully I can get on the main card. That'd be a wicked step up, main card spot.
Who do you want to fight? Who's the ideal opponent on that card? Main card in Australia, 3-0. Who are you squaring off against?
Ideally, like what I heard, someone like a Moicano would be cool. I think that's a tough challenge to face.
You're ready for that. There. You're ready for that step up.
I'm ready for that. Yes.
Okay.
But at the same time, I understand I've only had 3 fights, so I don't know if that ends up being a stupid call out because of my inexperience, you guess. But I'm ready for that challenge, and I hope they give me someone along the lines of that. Someone in the rankings is where I'd love to fight anyone that's ranked or a well-known name. I'm just after good fights.
Keep doing your thing, my man. It's really fun to see. What a great stoppage, what a great win, what a great knockout for you, what a great year for you. Congratulations on an unbelievable maiden voyage here in the UFC. I hope your foot heals up very quickly and that we do get to see you in early 2026, because it's a lot of fun seeing what you've done in a short amount of time. So thank you so much for staying up late for us. Congratulations, and hope to speak to you soon again.
Thank you, Ariel. Thanks for having me on. It's been an honor.
Okay, thanks. Same here. Here he is, Quillan Salkilld, who is kind enough to join us. What a great win, and I think he's a player right now. I think he's someone that we need to start paying attention to, fighting at 155 pounds. He's won 10 in a row, and he has arrived. You do that to Nasrat Haqparast, who I think had won, 5 in a row, and had only been stopped once before in his 15-fight UFC career. He had won 5 in a row and had only been stopped once, and here's young Quillan Salkilld knocking him out with a vicious head kick knockout, which put him out cold, legs convulsing. It was scary stuff. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.